Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Metal Magdalene with Jet right here on Metal Messiah Radio. Tonight I have a special guest with us. I have Charles Elliott of Abysmal Dawn. Welcome to the show, Charles.
Thanks for having me.
So, Charles, tell us a little bit about the early days when you, Jamie, and Terry started Abysmal Dawn up.
Man, I don't know. That was a long time ago now.
Oh, come on.
I don't know. We used to rehearse in Jamie's garage with his parents, and his dog would bust in and piss on my guitar cabinet and blow all my speakers. Yeah, I don't know. we did like a backyard kegger a couple times, or at least once or something, doing that, and recorded the demo there. And I don't know. Jamie's parents were cool enough to let us rehearse in there until he wasn't in the band anymore, obviously, and then they didn't like us so much anymore. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where else to start. Actually, I just found a picture of the demo that we recorded or from those sessions the other day, and Sasha from Intronaut recorded the demo for us, and it was like a picture of him in front of some like ancient like stupid recording, I don't know, like digital recorder or something. I just remember he was like paid in like coffee and weed or something at the time.
Isn't that what you get paid in now?
No, we're doing a little bit better now, coming up a little bit, but not much better. But yeah.
So when Jamie and Terry left the band, that the three of you guys more or less formed and put it together, and it was just was it a little weird for you? I mean, you were like rebuilding a whole new band?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's always been hard over the years, and we had a lot of different lineup changes. It's just kind of how it goes in this genre. If you're, for various reasons, sometimes it's financial, sometimes people just get over it or disillusioned with the whole industry, or sometimes maybe we're just different musical directions, or people aren't getting along.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying there, and when going through like the album that you guys have done, when you get to Leveling the Plane of Existence, that was the one that you said was like your revenge album. How so?
Well, I don't know, personal reasons. I had a relationship at the time, and I think I'm cool with the guys now, but I think the lineup I had at the time left to go join Abigail Williams at the time. And yeah, you know what? It's funny though, because I know like those guys are in Aborted now, and I've been in Sven for a long time, and Aborted's fucking awesome. So it's cool. I like everyone's cool now, but I think at the time I was pretty bitter about like people leaving, because I think we were at a point in our career where, I don't know, I toured the band pretty relentlessly on some shit tours, because, when you start off, that's kind of what you got to do. You got to make your own tours if they're not coming to you, and, put the work in. And for some people, that's not always under the ideal conditions, and, you question why you're doing it and stuff, especially, if you weren't there when, I think like Ian, for example, totally cool with Ian, nothing against him now. It's, but I think at the time, he was kind of unhappy with all the touring we were doing, and we hadn't started like writing new material or anything, because I think he joined at a time where we had just put out Program to Consume. So, we weren't really in writing mode or anything. And Ken was more or less, I guess, a fill-in on, because Terry had left. He did like a couple tours on that album. He was just kind of over the rigors of touring and financially stressed and all that. And so yeah, I mean, I don't know. Where was I going with this? I don't know. Now I'm just rambling. It's just, touring's tough, and there's a lot of lineup changes, and so those guys had left, and after a really stressful, maybe like the worst tour we ever did, honestly, it was just really too fucking long. Too long, and for the tour it was, it wasn't pulling like big numbers or anything, and we were out on the road for like 2 months or more or something, and it was just causing a lot of stress on everyone, like financially or just relationships back home or whatever. So at that point, the band kind of fell apart, I guess. They went on to do the Abigail Williams thing, and I had to like kind of rebuild the band again because the founding members, had split off on our second record, and when it came time to do a third album, it's like I didn't know where. I just had to kind of start again. I mean, it's always been like my band, I've always been the driving force, I guess, behind it, main songwriter and all that. So I don't know, but I just had to kind of pick up the pieces and get it together again. And by the time, I guess, we were recording our album for Leveling the Plane of Existence, I think, I mean, this is personal, but I guess, at the time, my ex-wife, like, told me she wanted a divorce, like, right as we're about to, like, finish pre-production and go in the studio or something. So that was rough because I had to, like, finish writing a record and recording with, the time that we had. And then also, like, kind of deal with my personal life at the time. So, and that record turned out killer, I mean, I don't know if it was extraneous circumstances or just being in a really dark place and pissed off and just tired of, like,
everything.
Everything, yeah. Like all the shit tours, all the, like, the people doubting you and in every aspect of your life, and then you just fucking that was it. We came out the gates like roaring, and I think having Scott in the band at the time, I think he came into the right place because he was really enthusiastic about putting out that album and working on that record. So he would come down and we'd rehearse for like a week or two. I think we only got together like maybe 3 weeks, I don't know, of him just coming down from Northern California and hanging out with me, and I don't know, just tightening up the ideas that I kind of have, because I think we had like half the stuff was done with like drum machine, and my drum machine programming has gotten a lot better since then, but it was pretty minimal since then, or back then. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think Leveling was like the first record that I felt like people took notice of us. I mean, people, they knew about us, and kind of, not everyone, but we people kind of knew who we were. We're getting a little bit of recognition, but I don't think anyone was like, "Holy shit, this band's fucking awesome!" until
that came out.
That record, Yeah. And we had a little bit more of a budget that time too. It was like the first time we didn't have to self-finance a record ourselves.
Wow. And
because Program was all done, and then we gave it to Relapse basically at the time. Same with Crash Music, the first album. And what would I guess? And we got to work with Eric Rattan, which was a huge thing for us at that time. And still really good friends with him, and I think he did an awesome job and helped take us, no pun intended, but to the next level, so to speak. So,
well, that's very true, because Eric Rattan's productions are insane, and you could tell, and a lot of bands that I talk to that go in there and record with him too, it's like a learning experience. They all tell me it pushes you really hard, but you end up with this great product.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we didn't actually get to track with him. We tracked with Mike Baer and John Haddad, who's Obsolescence as well. But Eric, he mixed the record, and he was giving pointers as we went along, hearing song example or demos and song examples and stuff, and I don't know. If something sounded like shit, like on the recording, you tell us. But
fix it. So, now your vocals pretty consistent throughout all your albums. Now, when did you realize that you could sing like that, or if that's what you want to call it, or is that something you had to kind of train yourself to do to fit with the music?
I don't know. I started off as a guitar player. I didn't really want to be a singer. Maybe I did when I didn't know how to fucking play guitar. I don't know. Like when I was a kid or something. But I don't know. I just kind of became the singer out of necessity because I had this drive. I really want to get out there and play shows, and I just couldn't find a singer. We talked to friends and stuff. I know, like I don't know. There was a couple of people we talked to. I have a friend Dan from this band Crematorium at the time. We talked to him a little bit, and he was too busy, and I don't know. We had other people in mind. It just never worked out. And finally I just said, fuck it. I'm just going to do it myself, and just slowly learned how to sing and play guitar. Or I don't know. It was...
Well, it worked out pretty good, but I can't even imagine if you're not even a singer and here you are playing this metal music, where you even start from. I mean, did it started out clean, or did it always, you started right off trying to do all this death metal-y stuff?
Oh, for Abysmal Dawn, yeah, of course I tried to always be... have those brutal death metal vocals.
I know, but when you first started learning to sing, because now you have to, where do you even start from?
I can tell you where I started from. I think the first song I learned to sing and play was "Stench of Paradise Burning" by Disincarnate. So we covered that song live on our first live show, and when we didn't have enough songs, and I don't know. I kind of did backing vocals in the other bands I was in prior to that. But yeah, it's basically
So are you all self-taught then? You didn't go to learn any, techniques or anything like that?
Well, I started off self-taught, and I've since looked into a lot of, techniques and stuff like that. Some of it I think is bullshit. Some of it is helpful. So.
Yeah, because you don't want to hurt yourself. Have you ever hurt yourself doing that and can't talk or anything horrible like that?
When I was recording the vocals to Obsolescence, our last album, yeah, that kind of fucked up my voice. It's funny though, because I was actually looked into way more techniques and tried to do things a little bit more correct. I ended up fucking throwing out my voice.
You did something wrong.
I was pushing it pretty hard. I think I don't know. I do a lot more screams on the record in this. I don't know. I just re-recorded the vocals a little bit differently on this time around. So every fucking time we record an album, I'm like, all right, well, now I gotta relearn how to sing or something, because I haven't, been. We don't practice a ton in the studio, and I get recorded differently every time, and have to deal with a different mic or something. I think I finally got it figured out. We'll see on the next one.
And when is the next one going to be?
You know what? We don't know yet. We started trying to write some songs. I have a song and a half done, basically.
Yeah, well, your last release is only not even. I noticed like a little over a year old.
Yeah.
So you got, you still got to push that out there.
Yeah. I mean, we got some time. I think maybe after this tour, though, we'll probably take a break and just focus on writing, because we've done. What is this? This will be the third U.S. tour, and we did a European tour.
Oh, you did do European. Okay.
Yeah. So it's it'll probably be about that time to write a record. It's just, we're trying not to over tour the band. I feel, it's like, I know a lot of bands that do that, and sometimes I feel like, for all the touring they do, they don't get nearly as much recognition, or I don't know, you get paid as much even as they should. I feel like, because they just tour the band all the time, they take whatever is offered to them, and we did that shit for years, and it's like, we don't need to do that anymore. And we the band has grown, and we have our fan base and continues to grow. It's just like, I don't want to I don't know, burn people out on us,
Absolutely. Now, speaking of tours, you got a pretty extensive one coming up next month. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we're doing that tour with Cannibal Corpse, Obituary, and Cryptopsy. And wait, let me start over again. All right, we're doing the best fucking death metal tour you've heard of, and I don't know, like, past 10 years. I don't know. It's a really fucking cool tour. I mean, Cannibal Corpse, we've toured with them before. We love those guys. To me, like, we look up to them a lot, because I feel like they've stayed consistent with what they really love and what they what they play, and they aren't, like, I don't know, posing as fucking have some fake fucking imagery or something, you know what I mean? Like, they're a real band. They're playing brutal fucking music, and they write good songs. Everyone's, like, talented musicians, and that's it. And people love it, and you have to admire that it is. You take it at you can take it at face value, and and people enjoy it. You know what I mean? So.
And it's going on for a while, right? It starts in February, the beginning, and it runs through the beginning of March.
Yeah, we're gonna be with our headlining dates and all that. I think it's about a 7-week tour.
And you're hitting Canada.
Yeah, we are.
Through their
It's been a while. We haven't been there. Since leveling, actually. So it's been a while.
And you got all your papers all straight.
Yeah. It's far. I'll try not to drink and drive with my feet before.
Because you always hear all those nightmares. You're doing all your tours, and then all of a sudden you hit the Canadian border, and something bad happens.
I mean, we've had that before. We had a former bass player, I almost say his name, got a DUI like right before we were supposed to do a tour, and then we so that didn't help, but yeah.
Live and learn. And then when I was looking at your tour schedule, I'm like, you guys probably should have done it the opposite, because you're hitting all the northern states in the middle of the winter, and then as it starts thawing out, you hit the southern states. So it's like, what the hell? I'm like, if you did it the other way around and hit the southern states first, then you probably wouldn't have any trouble with snow or anything like that. I mean, it's a lot of snow. You gotta be driving that shit. Who's driving in that shit?
Thankfully not me this time, but what you have to understand though is most booking agents, they just throw darts against the wall and they, connect the dots just to write their name across the country, and in cursive though, not in fancy,
of course, yes.
Yeah. So no, I was kidding. I don't, I didn't really notice, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Like, we've done shit in way worse weather. I remember the Obscura guys, like, we had. What was that tour? I mean, it was with Obscura, but we were in Canada, and had to make, like, I don't know, like a 12-hour drive in the snow through British Columbia and, like, the mountains there.
Oh my God.
And they were, like, taking bets, like, if we were gonna die, because we're from California, and, like, figured we'd just fucking, I don't know, flip a van over there somewhere. I don't know, snowbank.
Well, you hear it all the time, and I'm like, you got to get to that next show, and then you go through all that shit and in the blizzards and everything else, and hope somebody shows up after all that.
Yeah, I'll just say this to all the bands out there. Nothing's more important than fucking staying alive. Like you're $150 a night for whatever amount of people is not worth it to, fucking wind up dead in the ditch somewhere. So we try and be safe as possible.
Good.
If you're tired, you pull over but thankfully we have a driver this time. So I hope you're not jinxing me. What the fuck? Why are we
No. That'll be nice. I'm just saying.
This is like some foreshadowing and some.
No, I'm not a swami or anything.
Yeah,
I was just saying when I looked at it, I'm like, they should have flipped it around. Take a little consideration into the safety of all the bands touring in the northern parts in the dead of freaking winter in February and shit. That's all. Just thought it was a little weird, but I'm sure everything will be just fine, Charles. I'm not worried. You got a driver. You got a professional driver that you can handle all that stuff. It's not like your dad or something, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not my dad.
Okay.
Well, actually, let's give a shout out to Andrew Garrity right now.
Oh, that's your driver?
Yeah. I mean, he's you're on in Florida, right?
Yeah, we're based out of there yet.
Yeah, he's based out of Tampa.
So oh, okay, cool.
Maybe he sexually assaulted you or something.
No, I don't think so because we're based out of there, but I'm up in New Hampshire broadcasting, so I don't think it was me that he sexually assaulted.
Oh, that's good. Well, you're safe for now.
So wait a minute. So your driver's from Florida?
Yeah.
You'll have no problem driving in that snow then.
Yeah, right.
So Charles, where can people go to learn more about the band and find out, the tour dates and all that kind of stuff? Is Facebook the best place nowadays?
Yeah, I'd say that's our only outlet really right now. We kind of abandoned the website a while ago, and now it's just you can follow us on Twitter, I guess, and some other horrible social media.
But at least on your Facebook, you have all those little tabs that you could click to find out, where you're on tour and what places you're going to be playing and pick up tickets. It's so convenient.
Yeah. Right? It's all in one place.
So the tour kicks off when? February 12th? I don't know if memory serves me correct. It's like
we start our headlining dates in Las Vegas on February 6th.
Okay. And so you're starting out in your headlining ones. Now, are you got other bands playing with you on those?
Not for the headlining shows, no. It's just us.
Okay. You're not picking up any local acts at
no, there'll be local acts, but I'm not aware of what local bands are playing with us.
Okay, well that sounds like it's going to be a good time, a good place to open up. Don't lose all your money while you're there. You'll be all set.
And yeah.
We're broke. We got to go home now.
Yeah.
All right, so people can check you guys out on Facebook. Hopefully in a couple of years, maybe you'll get another album out there. But we're still kind of riding on the other one. Like I said, it's only been out for a little over a year. And going on tour with Cannibal Corpse and Cryptopsy. And this is a pretty big tour for Cryptopsy, too, because they don't really travel the whole United States a whole hell of a lot. So it's going to be a great opportunity for people to go out to see, what did you call it? The best fucking death metal tour in the world, I think it was, something like that?
Yeah, best fucking death metal tour, North America, what year is this?
Oh, yeah. Jeez. You're really living in the past. Yeah, we're 2016.
Yeah. Hey, well, I've liked all these bands for a long time.
So everybody get out there. Make sure you check out these guys. They're playing with Cannibal Corpse and Cryptopsy. And again, Chris, thank you for taking the time out to do this with us. Chris, I don't even know who the fuck you are anymore.
It's like Chris.
Hey, Hey, Chris, Charles, it's all the same. Charles, thanks for taking the time out to do this with us here tonight, and, stay safe out there on the roads.
Thank you, Swami. Thank you.